Today we're going to talk about another common pose in yoga, which is Warrior One. Warrior One is part of Sun Salutation Flow and is a common pose that is done in yoga. And this is actually a pose that I've seen a lot of people get injured on. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about why. So Kristen, can you go ahead and step back into a Warrior One pose? So in Warrior One, we have our back foot out at an angle here. Our front foot is pointed straight forward. And the common instruction is to square your hips to the front of the room. And so this is what people are working on trying to achieve. Now, you can go ahead and relax that a little bit, Kristen. So when you do that, one of the things, the key concepts in physical therapy is that joints have certain positions where they're called closed packed. And what that means is when a joint is in a certain position, like a hip in extension, so hip is way back in extension, the joint itself, the joint capsule, all the slack is taken up. There's no laxity to it at all. So it's basically really connected and pulled into the joint. There's not a lot of movement. So if I were to ask Kristen to square her hips to the front of the room, and this joint is not going to move, where do you think that motion is going to come from? It can't come from her hip joint because her hip joint's in a closed packed position. It's got to come from her SI joint or her lower back. Go ahead and release that. So I have seen many people from Warrior One irritate their SI joint. And it's because that SI joint isn't meant to do that much motion. When we ask ourselves to square our hips to the front of the room, when this joint is in its closed packed position, there's no mobility coming from the hip. It's all coming from the SI joint and the lower back. So if you wanted to get your chest more towards the front of the room, and Kristen's doing an amazing job, you're keeping your hips pointed in their natural position, which is more open. You know, they're actually pointed more in this direction, in this diagonal, and you can move through your trunk, through your thoracic spine towards the front of the room. Or you could just keep your body in this position, and you're still getting all the benefits of the pose. So next time when your yoga instructor tells you to square your hips to the front of the room, think about what's happening with this hip joint and think about protecting that SI joint so that it doesn't get pinched and injured. I hope this helps you to modify your practice and stay on your mat. I hope you stay in your flow and don't get injured in yoga.